Do you ever find yourself thinking about who would win in a fight between Goku and Superman? Hi, I'm James Gavsey, and on the Who Would Win show, me and my co-host Ray ignore anything important happening in the outside world and debate fictional battles between characters from comics, movies, and video games.
We got a new show every week, and almost always am I the winner.
Yeah, not true, Ray.
In the past, we've discussed such matches as Captain America versus Darth Vader, Solid Snake versus the Iron Giant, classic matchups like RoboCop versus Terminator, and even the Muppets versus Sesame Street.
That one was crazy. So if you're a fan of geek culture and love a spirited debate, check out the Who Would Win show wherever you get your podcasts, or check us out at whowouldwinshow.com.
Hello, Wanderers. We are less than 10 days away from the season premiere of Amazon's Rings of Power, and they released what I assume is their final trailer today. We got some new shots, some intriguing lines, and likely some clever marketing misdirection. I want to focus on Galadriel's character arc that we see in this trailer. The opening scene is a battle of elves versus orcs, and then Galadriel standing over her brother's body, eventually taking a cool-looking dagger from his hands. We hear Galadriel voicing over the words, "My brother gave his life hunting the enemy. His task is now mine." Let's take a look at Galadriel's brother according to what Tolkien wrote in The Silmarillion. Her eldest and most well-known brother was Finrod. We'll come back to him in a second. She had 3 other brothers, Orodreth, Angrod, and Aignor. These last 2 died in the Battle of the Sudden Flame, and Orodreth was driven out of the Tower of Minas Tirith in Beleriand by Sauron, and would later die when Túrin convinced the Noldor to march against the dragon Glaurung. Circling back to Finrod, Finrod was inspired by Ulmo to found Nargothrond. However, when Beren went on his quest to reclaim his Silmaril, Finrod helped him to fulfill his oath, and together they were captured and thrown into Sauron's dungeons. Finrod would die in those dungeons, fighting off a wolf that had come to kill Beren. So, of all 4 brothers, I'm not sure which one Galadriel is referring to about hunting the enemy. Perhaps that's just part of this adaptation. Regardless, she claims his dagger after his death, and takes up his task, as she claims, of hunting the enemy. Throughout the rest of the trailer, we see several shots of her, in armor, in Numenor, even battling trolls and the elements as a commander. We see the dagger again as she is climbing along a wall of ice, something we've seen in previous trailers. We also see her attempting to unite different races against evil, something we touched on in episode 41 when we did a deep dive into Galadriel's personality. But near the end of the trailer, we hear the lines that we've seen from Elrond in other trailers. "You have fought long enough, Galadriel. Put up your sword." But Galadriel responds with a new line. "Without it, what am I to be?" The trailer closes with this line, and I think that is a compelling question. Longtime fans of The Lord of the Rings know the wise Galadriel who had dwelt in Lothlorien for thousands of years, who has passed through sorrow and 3 ages of Middle-earth. What we haven't seen is the fiery, rash, ambitious Galadriel, as she was in the days of her youth. And as she says earlier in the trailer, "There is a tempest in me." I predict that we will see this arc in Galadriel's story. Her rashness and need to avenge her brother's death will push her to great limits, so far that she will begin to trust in the sword and physical force too much. As her wisdom grows, we will see her put the sword aside and turn to other forces of power, like her gift of insight into the minds of others, her ability to persuade the free peoples of Middle-earth to unite against evil, her goodness and light that can hold evil at bay, or in cultivating what she referred to as magic, when she told Samwise Gamgee, quote, "This is what your folk would call magic, I believe, though I do not understand clearly what they mean. This, if you will, is the magic of Galadriel." Indeed, she asks an intriguing question. Without it, what am I to be? We know the answer, but I look forward to watching Galadriel wrestle with that question and become the powerful elf queen we know her to be. My friends, if you enjoyed this episode, let me know by subscribing, leaving a review, and sharing with your friends. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram at Lore of the Rings Podcast. For feedback on the show, please email me using the link in the show notes. Until next Thursday, remember, not all those who wander are lost.